Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going through my new off-road course, and let's put "my" in quotations because we're just using public land. But anyways, my new off-road course with the new 250 Land Cruiser. We're going to see how the Land Cruiser handles this off-road course, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below what you think about this off-road course after we go through all of the obstacles. Let's get right into it. So just a quick recap on my 250. This one has all the skid plate protection. I've got 33-inch tires. They're pizza cutter tires, so they're only 255 millimeters wide. Rock rail protection, so I've got all the protection, all of the off-road goodies. And the new 250 comes with a center and rear locking differential, 2-speed transfer case, stabilizer bar disconnect if you get the higher up packages. And then we also have the multi-terrain select, gotta reach, and the crawl control system. So I don't actually know how steep this is. I know it's over 30 degrees, but we're just in 4-wheel drive high, and we're just gonna bro it up. Boom. So that was obviously going pretty darn quick, and we'll actually get a, here we'll get a descent. Now for the descent, just for control reasons, I am going to put it in 4-wheel drive low, which you can see takes like 2 seconds. And let's see what the multi-terrain select. Let's put it in, I'll just put it in auto for now. Lock it into first gear. And we'll start going down. Now obviously going quick like that, oh yeah, so this maxes out the inclinometer. So this is probably like mid 30s for the incline, or I mean, it's at minimum 30 degrees because the car is literally completely maxed out. I didn't scrape though, and I think the approach angle on this is like 32. $33 degrees, something like that, I can't remember. So because I didn't scrape, that means that that was probably between 30 and 33 degrees. I think we can say maybe 30, between 35 and 33, whatever, somewhere in there. Now let's try this just going slow. This will really push the grip and everything. Oh man, it's fighting a bit, but yeah, it just shows you how good the grip is with this new 250. Just like the last obstacle, we'll go bro and then we'll go slow. And that was in 4-wheel high. By the way. And the thing about the 250 Land Cruiser is you switch between high and low quite often when you're off-roading. You basically, what I've discovered is steep climbs you're going to use low, and rock crawling you're going to use low. But yeah, a lot of the trail running you actually have it in high. Most off-roaders you have it in low all the time. But Toyota's kind of made this a little bit different, but it is really quick to switch between the two. Boom, already in low. And by the way, I don't have the diffs locked at all. I'm not gonna lock them until we need to, basically. So now we'll go slow, really push the systems. So you can see the torque's great. and just works right through that very easily. Yeah, this is a weird vehicle though, that you kind of switch between the two. Yeah, we'll keep going this way. And I use manual mode, by the way, all the time off-road, just to lock it into gear. So when I go down hills, engine braking, and especially if you're in low range, you engine brake, and man, don't need hill descent control. Section is just going to be POV because we're going to do a little bit of a trail run here. So again, I'm in 4-wheel high, and it's okay to be in 4-wheel high with this, even over some climbs, because the hybrid provides so much torque that you're not really beating up the transmission too much. Now I will say this actually trail runs pretty well. Now that I've decided that I'm keeping this thing, I'm a little bit more open to not destroying it, but you know, to kind of stretching out its legs a bit. And this is something that I do like about the new 250s. It's very nimble, and the steering, you don't get any kickback, so you can go over the bumps, full control, no problem. And this doesn't have an insane amount of ground clearance, so you know, over this, like these bumps right here, got to slow down a little bit so that I don't bottom out, but it's actually pretty comfortable and it handles it pretty well. Once my wife's healed up and everything, I'll have her help out with camera work on some of this off-roading. So here, you can see it's very, can I do stabilizer bar disconnect in 4-wheel high? No way. Yeah, you can. Holy guacamole. So makes this super easy, and then can reconnect because we're gonna go relatively quick. That's cool. I didn't know you could do stabilizer bar disconnect in 4-wheel drive high. That's actually super helpful. And again, it just shows you that Toyota is expecting people to drive this new 250 Land Cruiser, not just in low range off-road. So here you can see this might be a section where 4-wheel drive low is actually going to be preferred. So we'll just switch it over, boom, 4-wheel drive low. And that's because we're kind of just going low speed. We'll also disconnect the stabilizer bar here so you get a little more articulation, because we're going low speed and we're just pushing torque. Yeah, now that we're over that, we'll reconnect it. I will say, you know, I do prefer the EKDSS that's in the GX, but I do find it kind of fun to be playing with all the equipment here while you're going off-road. It's kind of fun to switch from one system to the next. Man, I find it funny that I have no diffs locked at all. We're just cruising, and this thing's not struggling whatsoever. Man, what a cool rig. Now this next one, we're just gonna do 4-wheel drive low for the whole obstacle. This is where you want to know your vehicle. So knowing the 250 doesn't have a ton of ground clearance, I'm gonna want to just take this slow so that I don't smack into any of these rocks. So just nice and slow. I did disconnect the stabilizer bar, for those of you wondering. It does improve the ride quality over this stuff. So again, I'm not using any lockers, no center, no rear, just purely traction control intervention in 4-wheel drive. Now that, the Lexus GX could not get through without a rear diff lock. Now, I will say, the terrain was a little bit damp. Not that bad though, honestly. This stuff dries out pretty quickly, unless we get a ton of snow. So yeah, it wasn't all that bad. Now the benefit to me being completely unlocked is this. Look at my turning radius. I'm still gonna have to back up because there's this little bush here, but I'll say pretty darn impressive. Now there is this trail that goes up here. I'm still debating if I'm gonna put this in my off-road tests or not. Not going to go up there today just for time constraints, but the reason why it's a debate is it's kind of high risk. It's not necessarily the most difficult, but if something does get stuck or something happens, it's very difficult to get down there because there's no turnarounds until you get to the very top. So I'll still continue to have that internal debate. And that is one thing to note about YouTube off-roading versus real life. In real life, because I just took my 200 series up there the other day, did just fine, no issues. In real life, you just kind of send it up and then you figure it out as you go. But, you know, since I'll be testing manufacturer cars off-road that aren't mine, I've got to have areas where I can pull out, so, and turn around and everything. Now this right here is where the GX just smacked so hard when I took it off-road. They are lifting it for 25 by an inch, so hopefully I can get another GX tester and see how that goes. But yeah, you can see it handles it like mincemeat, no problem. Watch, it'll complain because I'm on a hill. This next section, just for control purposes, I've put the center diff on, and then let's unlock the stabilizer bar disconnect. Oh, did I have it already unlocked? Okay, yeah, no I didn't. So unlock the stabilizer bar disconnect. And the reason being is this is just pure gravel, which ain't bad. Now, understand that the 250 Land Cruiser is going to make all this look like absolutely nothing, and that's because this has one of the best four-wheel drive systems on the planet, bar none. But most cars can't get up this at all. Like, they will get stuck. And when I say most cars, I'm talking about most off-roaders. So I went through this with my 200 series, and I actually picked up the rear coming down. Now, I don't think I don't know if that'll happen here. Man, this thing's impressive with control though. Exterior camera will catch the fun stuff. Traction control system was working overtime, by the way. Blinking like crazy. I'll just turn around right here. It's not too much of an incline. I will say, so the 250, because it has a lot of extra weight in the back end because of the battery, it's actually easier to control on steep slopes like this because you don't have an uneven slide. Like with most cars, the most of the weight's in the front end. So the front end will kind of pull down unevenly, whereas this almost feels, it's not perfectly even, but it feels relatively. So stabilizer bar disconnected, and coming down through this, I think I'll pick up the back end because this articulates pretty similarly to the 200 series with the KDSS. If I don't pick up the back end, I'll way less than my 200 series. Huh. So this actually articulates better than the 200 series with the old KDSS system. Impressive. So what I'll do another day is I'll take the Grenadier through this, and then I'll do a comparison. Actually, yeah, we'll do the comparison first. Let's just, I think that'd be fun for you guys to see. We'll do the Grenadier through the course, we'll do the Land Cruiser through the course, see which one does better. And then what I'll also do is I'll show you, I'll use that section right there to show you guys the difference between having the stabilizer bar disconnect or not, because I know a lot of you have bought 1958s, and so you're probably pretty interested and seeing if you can do all the off-road stuff without a stabilizer bar disconnect. So I'll take it through that obstacle with that. Here, we'll do it right now too, just for fun, going up, because I got to get my thumbnail anyways. Man, this thing is just an off-roading machine. I think I'm gonna put bigger tires on it though, because the ground clearance is still an issue every so often. So if I had, I think 34s would be the sweet spot. Fuel economy is definitely not going to be good though. That's for darn sure. Okay, yeah, that articulates way worse. Wow, it's a pretty noticeable difference from my driving perspective. I'll get you guys a full video on that in the future, but anyways, let me guys think about the off-road course. Let me know if you think I need to add anything, but I think this is pretty good because it's very steep incline for the first thing that really tests the four-wheel drive system. That tests the articulation, and then the middle one tests the ground clearance, and then still, I mean, all of them test the four-wheel drive system, right? But like a lot of vehicles couldn't get through that without using some sort of rear lock or a traction control system, and it never looks like a lot on camera. I'll try to find, I'm still exploring this area. I don't own an off-road course like Driving Sports TV and then TFL. I like to keep things low budget on the channel. So I've got to just find stuff out and about in the world. I decided the best way to actually cap off this video and show you guys how capable the Land Cruiser is, I'm going to do that same thing in reverse. That is correct. Now, I don't recommend you do this at home because, yeah, burning out the reverse gear, not exactly the smartest thing on the planet. But the 360 camera definitely makes it a little bit more doable, that's for sure. Yes, this is correct. Most vehicles could not get up this, period. But the new 250 Land Cruiser, because it has such a stupid good four-wheel drive system, and we're coming up here. Okay, and remember, I don't even have the rear, I just have the center diff locked. Yep. So that just gives you an idea of how capable the 250 is. You can do in reverse what most people cannot do in drive.